Oh, you're gonna love today's card. We have beautiful, rich raspberry cardstock that we're gonna use. And we got this great designer series paper that matches it. There is a piece. Make sure you look for the piece with the little notch. That means that's the scrap paper. So if you have any questions, northernstamper@gmail.com. My name is Tina, Northern Stamper, and I'm glad you're here. And today we are using Something Fancy Bundle. Love these sentiments and the Something Fancy dies. I just love these dies. If you're going to get anything, make sure you get dies that are labels that you can use over and over. They are fantastic. So, with no further ado, let's get started. What we're going to have to do first is cut our piece of cardstock. So you'll notice you got a full piece of cardstock. And what we are going to do is we are actually going to score this first. So you're going to put it in portrait mode. And we are going to score it at 3.5 inches. All right, so I got it at 3.5 inches and I'm going to score it. Okay, just to make my life simple, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half. Again, 3.5 inches. There we go, and I'm just going to cut. Okay, and yes, we are making a slimline card. Now this is too slim and too line to be going. So what we need to do, extend the arm, and we are going to take it out to 8.5. And I'm just going to cut off that extra piece. So we can use this for our labels later. And that is all we need to do for the cutting with the scoreboard or the trimmer. Let's put that away. And there is our slimline card. It is going to be landscaped this way. Very, very simple card that we are making today. So I want to double check to make sure that piece of designer series paper fits on. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? So beautiful that it matches. I love the fact that Stampin' Up! Has everything that matches, and it is always turning out fantastic. Now you'll notice you received a piece of ribbon that is, it's like, whew, oh, my goodness. It just went out of my mind. So what I'm going to do is wrap it around. So there's going to be a little piece left over. So I'm going to try and make a little bow or something out of that. So I'm going to wrap it around. And I'm going to try and keep as much. Just make a little piece on the end. So very tiny. I'm going to wrap it around. And I can see it's going to come over a little bit. And I'm going to snip off just enough to glue down. Okay, so when I pull on this, I don't want to pull too hard that it's going to buckle the designer series paper. It's just going to wrap around. So there we go. Put our tape on each side. There we go. Looking great. And so I don't lose my pieces, yes, I'm going to glue this down because just in case I put it down and I forget where it is, heaven forbid, on this table, I don't know where it could be. So let's put the glue down and pop it on the card front. Isn't that great? That looks so fantastic. Now, I'm going to keep this piece for now and see what we can make with that. All right, what we are going to do next is we are going to make our sentiment. And as I said, there's a piece of scrap paper with the, just want to take that shine off, with a little notch out. And this is, I'm going to stamp a sentiment on this. So let's take a look at the different sentiments that we have. Now this is all that's going on the card, so I can go with something a little bit bigger. And I'm going to take a look, and I'm actually going to match it with the Something Fancy dies. And I'm going to do two, one in the scrap paper and one in the cardstock as a mat. So I want to have one that's a little large, that's for the scrap, for the cardstock, and one that's a little smaller. So I'm going to find out which one fits in. Oh, look at that. That looks great. I'm going to use, actually, don't forget your, I didn't forget your birthday. Love that. And the color I'm going to use for the ink is Blackberry Bliss. That's really going to pull out the color in the card and the designer series paper. Okay, so let's do that. All right, I got these on here. And I'm going to use a block that is large enough. I'll just pop that on. Okay, got that all set together. And I'm going to use my scrap paper, just going to put it right there in the middle. Okay, make sure it's well inked up. And if this doesn't turn out with the scrap paper, that's okay. Grab a piece of basic white and just restamp it. There we go. I'm going to stamp up and down. That really pulls out a lot of the color. Looks fantastic. So again, double check. It's going to fit in that sentiment, in that die, and this is going to fit in the cardstock. So I'm going to go cut those out with my Stampin' Emboss machine. Now I had enough of the rich raspberry scrap cardstock, so I decided just to cut 2 out so I can keep this piece for a little later. Maybe there's something I want to use with that. So I just love these dies. They are so useful, and as I said, if you're going to get anything, at least pick up the dies. So if you don't get anything else, these dies are absolutely fantastic. So let's take a look. I can mat that on there. That looks really great. Loving that. Actually, I think I just love the way that this just goes on with the ribbon itself. Now I want to add a little bit, so I'm going to give something a little try. So I'm going to cut this actually in half, and I'm going to cut that half in half again, and I'm going to try this. So I'm going to keep this for another card that we're going to be making, or if you want, you can actually make a bow. And what I'm going to do is try and pull out some of these threads. Now they may or may not pull out very easily. Oh, there it goes. And I want enough that it just starts a little bit of a ripple, kind of, I guess, like that. And I'm going to do is glue it or tape it down on the other side. And I just wanted a little bit to get started, to give that kind of an idea of that ribbon coming apart. And I'm going to do that for both pieces. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get going. You got to find out where that piece is. And, you know, like your vacuum cleaner, when it grabs a hold of your carpet, it just pulls it all out. So that's kind of what we're looking for. So again, do that other little piece. This is going to look fantastic. Take my word for it. I'm going to place that on the other side. Going to take that down. It's just a great little ribbon idea. And I think it looks really fantastic. And let's add these onto dimensionals. Okay, I think dimensionals add a lot. Don't be afraid to use your dimensionals, even if you want to use it on everything. Why not? That's what they're there for. And again, so I'm going to place that on the front. Right, place that on. And then we're going to add that on dimensionals also. Kind of make it pop up a little bit. And we're going to put 4 on just to make sure it's well secured, and put it on the front. Now you can put it on the left or the right. It's very much up to you. And I'm just going to pop that on. Even though it's off center of the ribbon that it's underneath, that's okay. That's fantastic. I am actually loving this card. And don't forget, add a few little embellishments to your card. Oh, that one is taken off on me. All right, I'm just going to slide those off. Look at that. And another one in the card itself. Very, very simple. And if you want, add some Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella for 11 bucks. Adds so much. Add some to the flowers. And this Wink of Stella has lasted me, oh my goodness, so long. All right. Just keep going around on some of the flowers. There we go. Very simple card today. I love slimline cards. Sometimes I forget about making them, but they do turn out fantastic. So what do you think of that? I can't wait to see what yours looks like. Don't forget, post yours on the page too, and make some more slimline cards, and most of all, don't forget to send them out. Until next time, my friends, keep on stamping.